You know what? Let's do 4 to 5 and get him over here. Not quite to you, Doctor, but getting there. This dude gets a 6. Oh, crap. Okay. 6 and 7. Boom. Next guy, 5. These guys are rolling really freaking good. Okay. 4, 5, and then he'll take his move over here to get around. And lastly, this dude, D6, 4. 1, 2, 3, and he'll just move 3 to get. He'll move 4 and then take his stride back. So, oh yeah, juicy. Okay, so our first guy already attacked. The second guy is going to take a swing at Harmon. He cannot roll. He moved. So, well, actually, this is a charging strike, I guess. So, could he aim and then charging strike?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Okay, then he's going to do that.
Yep. You choose who you're aiming at first, if it mattered.
Right, okay.
Because the risk is that you might not move close enough, and it's just a wasted action.
Exactly, and then they just kind of peter out before they get to you.
Yeah,
so,
of course, I'm going to counter.
Cool. All right, well, 2, we'll start with that then. You're going to counter him, and what did I say? D6, D8, D12.
Veterans, of course. All right, you've got a 9.
I got a 9. Did my D6 roll?
Counter strength doesn't apply.
I don't think it rolled my D6. I'm going to hit that again.
Oh, what a bad roll. Rerolling that D12, favorite use.
Okay.
I mean, you still got 2 hits on me.
That's 2. Not terrible. These hatchets are damage +1 and thrown, which is kind of cool, but he's not throwing
3 damage.
3 through.
I am hurt.
Oh. Hey, I hurt Harmon! And reeling. All right.
Let's see. Orange.
Okay, so number 6 is going to do that same thing and take a bonus D8 because reeling.
Yep, and I'm going to counter again.
D6, 2D8, D12. High of 8.
11. So I've hit you for 3.
Oof! These guys are soaking with 2D6 and a D8.
Got a chance.
Okay.
And he blows it.
And he blows it.
So really hurt and afraid.
Okay. Reeling hurt. Afraid. All right. Our guy number 5. Now, what do you guys think? I'm still getting used to this non-gridded combat. Center to center. Does he have to be?
Yeah, I always go center to center.
All right.
I thought that's what we agreed on last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you can always just fudge any distance that's less than a half a pace.
Got it. Well, this is just, from what I'm seeing here, this is just under 1.5. It's 1.3.
Go ahead. He's going to counter your ass.
Yeah, I would say it's up to you. Because the argument is, he could hit me, but I could kill him.
It's true. Well, I mean, we're here to fight, right? So let's do this.
Yeah, they're eager.
D6,
maybe they're
2D8,
overconfident because they got the friends in the bushes that they know about.
That's true.
And besides, you just hurt his other friend. How dare you? He has to get back at you now.
He can't kill us all.
Got that 11.
Simultaneous hit.
All right.
So I do 3
Okay,
to you,
well, it's
and
2
you
from
do...
me. 2.
3.
Oh, 3 because you're hurt.
Yep.
Right.
So you go ahead and soak first, and I'll soak.
Okay, 2d6 and a d8. I soak 1, so same deal.
Reeling, hurt, and afraid. And I have no change on me. I'm still hurt.
Okay, now Doctor, you also are going to get some attacks here. I believe these guys look like they're within punch-in range. Yeah, they're within punch-in range. Okay. So, first one from the north, they're coming at you, Doc. D6, right. D8, D12. Oh right, my.
So these are attacks against me. So I'm going to roll to parry them. I have a rod, and I'm also a pacifist, so I have 2d12.
Nice. Nice.
And I get an 8.
All right, so that's the first one. Successfully parried. The second one, same deal. D6, D8, D12. Wow, these are not strong.
They aren't doing too hot, and they're just like, wait a second, hold up, this guy is obviously a completely harmless priest.
I think you find that the two guys who thought they could take a priest and a doctor are the guys clearly who thought they could.
Yep.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yep. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. And I guess this is on. I'm going to say that these guys who are hiding are going to use their first action to basically ready their weapons. So they're not going to be charging into combat. Let me get to this GM layer. Can I reveal them all at once? I think I can. Layer, token layer, bam. Or not. Okay. But they're going to spring out of the bushes and they're going to chuck some hand axes at some people. Some hatchets. Let's see. So the two up here on the rise are going to be throwing their hatchets at Connor.
Dodging.
And I think for short range, for thrown weapons, it's short range, right? And they're actually just outside of near range, so I think they're good to go. Okay, these are just going to be D6s and D8s. First one coming at you. Oh, that's a 10, so that can't hit. Nope. All right, second one again, D6, D8. So give me one more dodge there, Connor. And beat a 6, which I think you can do. And you do, handily. All right. The guys down here on this rise are going to throw some hand axes at Anushka. D6 and a D8 at Anushka.
All right. Well, Nushka's got a good dodge. A 7.
Nice.
Throw it at
Alright.
me. I'm not even doing anything. Bunch of jerks.
They are jerks. These guys are jerks. And the second one's going to come at you too, D6 and D8. So one more dodge. Have to beat a 7 this time.
Heck. Ah,
Nope.
hate you all.
All right, Anushka, you're injured still?
Yeah, of course I'm still freaking injured.
I'm on the wrong layer. I'll give you the injured, so I know. I believe it's going to be 3 damage coming to you because it's 1 for the success, 1 for the +1, and 1 for injured.
Yeah, I am hurt and afraid,
Okay.
but not re-injured, which is the important thing. Thank goodness I've learned to resolve.
Yep, there you go. And reeling, lest we forget. And these last guys up here, yeah, they're fixing for a fight, so they're going to actually jump down. I think you guys are outside of sprint attack range, but I think they're going to. No, you know what? They could take a dash, and then they could try charging attack, and they won't get their veteran. But Anushka, you're looking kind of hurt, so maybe they don't need to.
Oh yeah, sure. Attack the non-combatant.
They did already. That was the doctor.
3.
Oh, not as good look, but he is a weirdo.
Might I suggest taking up the route of pacifism in the priesthood, Anushka?
You'll convert someone one of these
time.
days. All right, this is for 2. He's aiming at the doctor, and that gives him 4, which would smash right into him. So we'll go back 1, and that brings him here.
So since I'm out of range, I am. Oh, he's crashing into me. Okay, so
he would crash into you if it wasn't for his stride.
Well, I mean, you ever say it's a straight line as well? You just go here and attack him.
I guess that makes more sense, right? I suppose.
Yeah, so just like wiggle him over there. That's fine. There we go.
Oh,
now he hit me.
Right. Okay. And this is once again D68 because he didn't get a chance to aim. It's a 3 and a 5.
And again, I'm just a helpless old man. Why are you all surrounding me?
Doing some mad kung fu with this.
What am I saying? I'm not even old. I'm insulting myself now. Oh, that's how bad this fight is.
All right, and we're doing our second charge for this other guy. He gets a full 6. Jesus. Let's see. Can I even get within range here. He overshoots Anushka.
He tried his best.
And I think I'm gonna say Anushka, you have another round to live. In his fervor, he blows him. Maybe Anushka steps out of the way.
And also by the position uncertainty, it's kind of like you say, well, he's halfway there. It's like, screw you. I'll half a step away from you.
Right? Yeah. So, yeah.
Bunch of jerks.
He's got his head lowered, tusks leveled right at your heart.
So boar literally charges me out.
Exactly. But that's it for all of them. They are done. It is to you guys now.
All right. Well, Nishka, you need a lot of help. What I might do is, Connor, if I refresh the flesh ward, it drops off of you, and then I rally Anushka, which allows me to put it immediately on her.
Anushka seems to need it.
Yep, I definitely agree. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my rally dice here. And I'm gonna throw my personality into it today, just to give you something. 5. Congratulations. You are, what would you prefer, not being reeling, afraid, or hurt?
You can remove hurt. No one else can.
All right, so I'm going to remove hurt for you. And then go ahead and roll me your will.
Which just went up.
Yep, sure did. Congratulations,
Right.
You have 3 points of flesh ward to play with now.
Excellent.
And my turn's done.
All right.
I will make this easy. I'm going to recover from reeling because that was a crappy rally.
Hey.
These are purple. Okay. And I am going to... Now, I'm not leaving the battle, but I am leaving the map.
Gotcha.
I take to the air and get out of here because if I could end my turn not here, the afraid will go away.
Right, and you're so fast, it's hard to really contain you on this small area.
Yeah! All right, that's it. It's like to
Yep,
recover myself.
I'm out of here.
That hurt way more than I expected it would.
All right, and before Harmon goes, so he can get tactics on number 1 there, Connor's going to ready his saber and buckler, then guard.
All right. Good thinking. And it occurs to me these guys have tactics dice that they should be rolling. So that was my mistake. Bank error in your favor. Collect $200.
Okay.
It's alright, they're just having fun. They're not working together yet. Now they work together.
Now they're working together. Okay.
Alright, so then I'll attack this guy.
All
I'll
right.
recover from reeling, and I will attack this guy.
Okay, and he's of sound mind and body, so he's going to try to counter you.
Yeah, but he's also being threatened. Now I got to also use my strength.
Oh, and they're packing shields. But I don't think they get the shield if they're countering, right?
That's a lot of D12s that aren't coming up 12.
D60.
That is correct. You get a shield if you dodge or parry.
Got it. Well, simultaneous hit.
Yep.
2 coming at you. And
3 coming at you.
2d6 and a d8. Come on, baby.
Wow.
All right, so that's 2.
You mean 3 coming at me, right?
I think it's only 2. I think it's
hurt.
1 success and a +1 for the hatchet.
I'm hurt. So that's 3.
Right, again, because you're hurt. I'm sorry. You're right. 3 coming at you.
Which I soaked. But just send me reeling again. Ending my sweep.
Not today. Hurt. Reeling. Afraid.
Yeah, but I mean, I am statusing these guys up. Get the holy triangle of statuses around me.
Yeah. All right. Was that everybody?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. So, let's start with Harmon. We're gonna remove reeling. Oh, but he's afraid. Grr. All right.
There's only one guy there who can actually attack me right now, unless they get rallied from somebody.
Yeah. Bop. Well, I mean, there's always the chance these guys up here could try rallying people. They don't have any natural leadership, unfortunately.
Yeah, good point. They have no commander.
Well, the guys who threw their axe... Well, yeah, the guy whose commander is afraid. That's the guy who attacked Connor.
Yeah, but you know what? Still out. They outnumber you. Let's give it a try. These guys are gonna have to do something this turn anyway, so we're gonna try to rally. And they're just gonna roll a d6 to rally. This one's going towards number 1, and it's a fail. The other guy, number 5, is also gonna rally or attempts to, and that's another 2. Wow, I really do suck. Okay.
What about the guys on this ridge?
Right. Let's see. Yeah. Let's give it a try. We'll do 2 more. Come on, d6. These are all targeting number 1 as well. That's fail, and that's yeah. These guys
No
suck.
rallies today.
No rallies today.
So come on, one guy. The one guy who's not afraid, who can still attack me.
Okay, we're gonna guard with the rest of these guys just so that we can get them out of the turn. Our dude is going to fall back. Let's give him a let's give him just a run.
Just to aid here. Just to aid in the okay.
Sure.
Well, I was gonna say, these guys all recovered from reeling, right?
They will, yeah.
I don't know if they have pack tactics, but if they did, they could still guard, and you have one guy who's still competent, who could then attack.
It's true. Unfortunately, these guys do not have pack tactics, so...
I'm just guessing. I don't know if they did or not. I'm just throwing out there if they did, they could get one mighty strike in.
And that's really what it all comes down to, right?
And it seems like just a normal group, so I guess they don't have.
I don't know.
tactics.
The bandits always have pack tactics, apparently, but
Right, but they're always rats and stuff.
the trained veterans don't work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This guy is... they really... That's the thing. They really don't have any tools for dealing with this. They really got to break and scatter. Because you're right, they could use their pack tactics if they had it, but now they're just kind of useless until they hide. So
I'm
we're
a
gonna say-
giant. I can
They
see
could
you over
just-
that ridge.
They could just stay out of the range of his massive sword.
Yeah. Let's
They could also beat up someone else who seems like an easier target.
Well, they got to get out of my line of sight. Is the thing. So.
Oh, you're right, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm ruling there's some foliage up here. These guys were hiding behind it, so I'm gonna say this guy who ran, he could hide this turn. These guys, I don't think they're gonna have the same sort of benefit. They are going to step back though. We're gonna move them back to they've got a dash of 3. Oh, and they were shook, so they can basically just step back or guard. We're gonna say they step back because of this sweep attack. We want to avoid that for now. So they're just going to step back. This guy's no longer rallied, not guarding. This dude, though, is furious. He's going to aim and attack. So someone's going to try to hit you this turn. D6, D8. Are you still reeling?
Yep.
D6, 2D8, D12.
And
high of
counter.
7.
High of an 8.
High of an 8. Well done.
So you
Okay.
take 3 damage.
Right. 2d6 and a d8. I'm soaking
So
2.
1 damage. So you're hurt. Hurt and reeling.
Hurt, reeling, blech. All right. Those guys all completely wasted their turns. So really, it's just on these guys to try to
Kill
beat
the
the crap
doctor.
out of Doctor. Yeah. Sorry, Doc.
No, don't hurt me.
3. Well, he can throw this hand axe, this hatchet at you, so I guess he's going to do that. So we'll start with number 1, who's chucking a hand axe at you.
Ah, no, I gotta actually go prepare my dodge now.
So you gotta dodge.
How dare? All right, it gives me an additional die, but it's a D4.
All right.
Dodge 4.
Come on, D8. Wow, no. All right.
All right, pitifully shuffle to the side and stumble and misses.
Yep,
Yeah.
this hatchet basically embeds itself in the ground by your feet.
They say that was your
Wonderful.
best chance to hit, and you
It
flubbed
was.
it.
It was. I realized that I'd do better not trying to fight him hand to hand, but just be throwing things at him from a distance.
Quick,
Mhm.
guys, build a wall around him.
But these guys are actually going to aim since they were already here, and they're going to use their tactics dice, which is an additional d6. So it becomes 2d6, a d8, and a d12. And we'll go clockwise, starting from 2 to 4, and then 3. So 2,
All right. Here's going to be my
2d6.
first parry.
d8, d12.
Oh, actually gets in with 1 success.
All right, it's 2 damage total coming at you.
Now to actually figure out my soak, which is going to be 2d6 and a d10 because I'm wearing plate armor and I am naturally tanky as an armadillo. I soak 1 point out of 2, I believe, correct?
That looks right. Yep, it's 2 points. So you are hurt and reeling, which means that this guy's got a better chance at you.
And I believe while reeling, I cannot parry, correct?
You definitely can't counter.
I did not remember myself, so I was looking it up. Can't remember
Thank
what
you.
page it's on, though.
It will change whether I parry or dodge.
I want to say you can.
It has been a while since I've discovered it too, and if Theta's on the case, I'm just going to wait for Theta for a second.
Okay.
But you could roll the next attack to see how that's going to go down.
Let's do that. It is going to be a...
oh, right, I become hurt before I become afraid. Dang. What if I just became afraid now? It would give me a 2d12 for further dodge if it does become relevant. All right, not a super big set of things coming my way, but we'll see.
Potential was for it to be much worse. A 6 is not that bad. A 6 followed by 3s is not that bad.
Theta, you got anything for me yet?
Well, parry is on 121. I just don't see anything about reeling or not.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
I could probably look in the reeling section, but I'm quite sure that you can parry while reeling.
Okay, if that's what you say, I'll go ahead and give it a go then.
Yeah, reeling just stops counterattacks, but unless you have blind fighting.
All right, so I hold up my stick and I'm going to parry.
Okay.
That is a 7. I win.
All right. Okay, well, I got one more shot, and I'm going to take it. Once again, 2d6 for the tactics, 2d6, 2d8 for the reeling, and here comes the d12 for aim. An 8!
Oof, this is a very scary set of rolls, but I get a 9.
The doctor just can't be touched. All right.
I think it also goes to show how few times people parry in the games that we play.
Right. This is the power
Wow.
of pacifism and a full parry weapon.
Exactly. You're just like... There's just tings as these hatchets are being knocked aside by your defensive rod, and I think that takes care of everybody on my side. Poor Connor, you guarded and no one even cares.
Aw.
Well, I mean, they were about to all go after him in the first round.
Yeah, and then they just saw what they thought were soft targets, but...
Right, I mean, they were all set to go after the leader, and they said, no, let's go kill the innocent messenger and the priest. This is valor.
This is valor.
These are the Doloro army. This is the Doloro army. This is not valor or honor.
Yeah, they're not constrained by notions like valor.
I know.
Says the guy wearing the Apatopa armor. Seal on his chest.
You're supposed to be looterists. The deeds that you do in this world will come back to you threefold.
Oh,
Well, maybe they see this as a good deed. I keep the evil out of my lands. I shall surely be rewarded in this life and the next.
Yeah, well, the threefold's coming for you.
They're Sunday looterists. They it doesn't really bother them the rest of the week.
So I guess question is, who's going to go first? I could recover and rally, or someone could rally me and I could do 2 actions. What are we going to do? I guess Connor.
let me go ahead and take care of this.
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and now that I have recovered, I can return to the battlefield.
Mhm.
So I will go ahead and rally the doctor. I said, "Oh yeah, the threefold's coming for you. Hey doctor, show them how we do things down south." All right. That's an unsuccessful rally. I'm not tapping anything to help you either.
What did you say over there?
Squeak, 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 squeak.
It just sounds like a bunch of ultrasonic squeaks.
So I had to recover from rallying, and then I'm going to drift.
Okay.
I'm done.
Right.
I'm gonna.
And
have
at least you're not
Connor-
afraid anymore, so.
I'm not afraid.
Right.
Connor's gonna stride. Wait, no, dash, but with a lower die. I'm just gonna roll a d4.
Ah, cool.
So that moves me 3 paces. And then going to adjust it by 1 to get here. And I don't get tactics because the doctor is reeling. But I will still go for number 4.
Here, recover
Okay.
from reeling. I'm gonna rally Harmon my turn.
Okay.
Congratulations, take tactics.
All right. 4 is going to counter. For a d6 and a d8. And roll a bunch of 4s. Ooh, ow.
No, this is my favored use of melee. So that d10 is going to get rerolled.
Okay. Whew. Okay. It's already a nice hit.
I saw 6 damage already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 5
take
damage.
that.
5
Is it?
damage. 5 damage, sorry. Myriad Song always screws me
I
up.
see
After
two
we
success.
included the hashtag damage stuff, he gets
2,
screwed up
4.
all the other games.
Jesus.
It's critical. That's why I added damage.
It's critical.
So it's 1,
right,
2,
okay.
plus 2, 4, plus 1 for critical, 5.
Jeez. All right, and I'll see how I soak. I don't soak well. 4. This dude is dying. You get him from behind.
Cool, that means the doctor can kill him later.
Yeah, maybe
An act of
their
mercy.
focus was better served elsewhere than the priest. So Connor, I believe that was your turn then, right?
Yes.
All right, Harmon, you have a rally coming your way. Congratulations, not reeling, not hurt.
Cool.
Harmon, you're still the best. Oh God, help me.
Alright, I will... Sorry, I'm about to use the word stride. I mean, I am going to dash. Yeah, I think dash will take me there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's within. Alright.
Very
And
good.
technically you're threatening this guy. So I
That's
will
right.
attack this guy.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I don't think he's got anything better. Well, no, he has a shield. Let's use the shield. He's gonna try to parry you on this one. That gives him 2d8s. D6, 2d8s, and oh god, doesn't matter.
Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 damage.
Ouch.
And you take it down to 4, so he's dying.
Also dying.
Yep,
Which
and,
one was this again?
the
This guy?
top one. No, the top
Top
one.
one?
Because he's being threatened by the doctor. Because then I will now
Gotcha.
sweep down to this guy
Gotcha.
who's
All
not
right.
being threatened.
I guess we'll try that again. He'll also try to parry.
But he still
Double
takes
8,
3
but
damage.
doesn't matter.
3
3.
damage.
Damn. Okay. Well, here we go. Hurt, reeling, afraid, injured, right? Because all 3 went through.
Yeah.
All
And that's my turn.
right. Is that everybody then? I think so.
Yes, we didn't put the irregulars or Potter in this fight, so it'll go faster anyway. That's fine by me.
That is true. We didn't, but okay. Well, yeah. Let's just keep it going. These guys are gonna jump down, get themselves in here.
You need to
with a
give
dash.
the irregulars guns. That way they just be a firing line, just a little bit off the map.
Right, just out of reach there.
Or a firing line.
3-3. They're no longer guarding. And they're, you know what? They're gonna throw their hatchets. Why not?
Sure.
These guys have enough of these things that they can chuck summon and keep going.
I counter. They're within my range.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't actually change anything for me. Well, I roll fewer dice, but
that's the benefit of declare and react. You've declared, I react.
So D6s and D8s. We'll start with the top guy. 6 to hit.
9 to hit.
Blurg.
So 3 damage to you.
All right, soak one of it.
Hurt really.
And second guy, same thing. D6, D8. 7
Let me
is
just verify. Yeah, you're still within range.
respectable. I mean, he's throwing his hatchet. So
We roll the D12.
bleh.
Nah, okay. Still 3 damage.
Okay. I'm failing all of these soaks so badly. All right. Her reeling and a third. So that takes care of these two
That's what
guys.
you get for pulling a Last of the Mohicans move on me. Why would you run up to throw something at me?
Yep. This guy is gonna limp run away and basically leave his run distance. You could outpace him there, Harmon, but unless you plan to, I think I'm just removing him from combat.
I mean, arguably, I'm just throwing this argument out there, counter decision. If the irregulars and Potter and everything aren't on the field, they've got to be in that direction.
That is the direction you guys were coming from, so yeah.
So what's probably going to happen is he's going to take 2 sling bullets from my dudes on his way out.
I'm comfortable with that. We're gonna give him dying, not dead. Okay. All right, that takes care of those guys. These guys are also running. I think these guys are running out of combat. We're just going to remove them for simplicity's sake. My captain up here is going to move his dash over here, and that's all that he can do. This guy is reeling, but he's going to try to charging strike. Connor, roll a d6 to strike. He moves 2, 1, 2, and he'll... Charging strike is probably a melee attack, so he's basically just going to fail. Okay. All right, so who else do we have to play with here? We've got these guys. These guys are going to... Also going to do a charging strike move where they aim and try to launch themselves at Connor. 5 will do it. All right, and an attack. Which is gonna have a D12, so D6, D8, D12.
And I'm gonna parry.
No, I did not get the D12. A high of a 5.
Beat that.
Well parried. This other guy's going to do the same thing. And he's going to reduce his speed die, right? So he can drop it down to a D4.
Yep.
4. Very nice.
He
3,
might crash
4.
into me.
He might crash into you. So what happens? I guess I could just move him up here.
I mean, you can also reduce it by stride.
The short answer is if you crash into someone, you're seeing yourself reeling.
Gotcha. All right. But he's not. He's going to charge up here so that he's a little bit north of you. D6, D8, D12 with a hatchet. This one's a high of 6.
5-7.
Yep. I realize I probably could also have given him his tactics dice, but that would have not helped in this situation since you got 7s. So yeah, so you also parry that. These guys really never stood a chance, but I think that is everyone on my side. Did this guy attack you?
I don't think so, no. He only
Well,
spent
might as
2
well.
attacks on me.
Yes, he was the one that was originally there because he attacked the doctor first, I believe.
Right. So he'll turn and try to get an attack on you, Connor. And he's going to use his tactics dice, and he's going to aim. So 2d6, 2d8, d12, or 1d8, 2d6, d8, d12. Hey, there's my 12.
Hey, there's my 10. Damn it.
Ha ho! 2 damage going through.
Soak one of it.
1 damage. I nicked ya. And that's
With
it for my
reeling
guys.
and hurt.
Yeah. Just reeling and hurt. Yep. He a particularly berserk strike comes at you and manages to find a gap through your armor. You feel the cold sting of hatchet. And now it's back to you guys.
Don't mind that, Connor. The flesh is only temporary.
Is that a rally?
That's
Yeah,
around.
it's a rally.
Congratulations. Go ahead and take your pick.
No, I'd actually rather be rid of reeling.
Okay. Well, you can continue being hurt.
Well, we can get rid of
And
hurt
I
at the
will
end
go
of the
ahead and guard now.
You should get rid of hurt because you can get rid of hurt.
I can get rid of hurt at the end of combat. Getting rid of reeling now allows me to guard. So
Yeah, but I have another rally coming, and I can't do anything for you.
Okay, then.
Right, Anushka is slowly drifting back into the fight here, so.
Well, there we go.
All right.
Thank you
Speaking
for
of
that,
slowly
Cole.
drifting back into the fight, is Connor. Look, they've surrounded you. Look out! Because Harmon doesn't rally. And my will went up, so I got better at this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I shouldn't be
go.
rallying.
Remove that reeling.
Comprehensible squeaking this time.
Thank you.
Connor, you feel bolstered by your companions.
They fill me with determination.
Although at the same time, you were reminded of your own mortality. That the flesh is only
Yes.
temporary.
Oh, and I guess I'm flanking because I drifted 4 paces.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Oh,
I
yeah,
will
that's
make
convenient.
use of that and go for number 5 within guard and a shot.
All right. He will try to counter. But you get through.
And I'm going to re-roll that d10 just in case.
Okay. Oh.
Dang it.
Ugh. He soaks 2. Total was 3, I think.
But yeah, damage plus 2 with 1 success.
Okay. So he's hurt reeling. All right. I think
Thank you.
that.
My turn's over.
All right. So I think we're down to Harmon.
Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna dash up to here. Because I think that puts me in range of all 3 of them. I mean, it's 0.1 meters, and we've tittled over 0.3 before, so.
Yeah, you can fudge it a little bit. You just lean in.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll start with the guy between Connor and Anushka, since that also is a tactics bonus for me.
Yep. And he's reeling. So take your bonus d8.
Yeah. Every single person here should be tactics.
And I guess he's got his parry with his shield. So d6 and 2 d8s.
So you screamed
No.
out 7 and belows, so 4 damage. Plus 1 because
Okay.
you're hurt, so 5 damage.
5 damage. does not look good for this guy. Knocks it down to a 3.
All right. So add injured and afraid to that as I sweep down to the one below him. This guy.
That's right. You should be trying to counter these so that I can stop your sweep.
Now reroll the
Yeah.
strength.
Why can't I keep this in my head? Parry. D6, 2d8 for shield. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, 6 is the highest, so 1, 2, 3, 5 damage.
Alright, 4 damage. He is dying.
And then
Blah.
I reach over past this guy to get the guy behind Connor over here.
Alright. Okay. For a parry, 7, I see 3 going through. Plus 2,
Oh, yeah,
5.
Sorry, I didn't know if that 172 was your roll or not.
Hey, I actually soaked 3 of it. This guy is still alive, just very badly hurt. Hurt, reeling, and afraid. All
That's
right. Okay, at this point, the leader is from the hill is going to shout, curse these blasted foreigners. Fall back, everyone, fall back. And they are going to take his advice and book it, except for the guys who are dying, who are going to continue to die at your feet.
Well, if they're going to leave them there to die, I may as well try to save them.
No, let Potter
Do your
it.
worst.
Let Potter do it.
Well, Nushka,
Nushka could always assist me if she really wants to.
Let me kill them?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can stand more blood on my hands.
Alright,
I
so
only see their faces every time I try to sleep.
should I roll for each of them or just once?
You could just roll once for expediency. And
Alright,
we'll see.
3 successes.
All right. I'm going to say that while you, giving instruction to some of the other party members and the irregulars, that you guys are able to stabilize those who have fallen here. They're all on the brink of consciousness. And yeah, covered in horrible gashes, mostly from Harmon. But I think from Connor as well. Connor definitely snuck attack one of these dudes, just came out from behind and whack. But you're sure that they will live, although it'll take them a while before they are up and about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my blade is coated in blood at this point.
Well, you all, might I
Okay.
suggest you take this time while you're recovering to reflect upon the light of Salumer and how maybe you shouldn't attack poor priests. Poor, helpless
defenseless.
priest who did nothing wrong to you.
One
I also
mutters.
suggest a fine vintage of alcohol, which I happen to know is made locally nearby.
Yeah.
To help pass the time.
I mean, while the doctor's making these jokes, I can only observe that they've retreated and they're probably going to come back in larger numbers, and it seems unlikely we're going to be welcomed in town now.
Well, you haven't made it anywhere near Burgess. You're coming to the ferry that will take you there.
Right. But this is just across the river from the city proper, which
True.
means that they're going to retreat to a place they can identify us. Just saying, this isn't going to give us a warm welcome at Bruges.
Well, I know my mind says that if I ever see a fight, I ought to turn the other way and go to a different town, but I suppose better tactical minds might have a better idea what to do now.
Yes, what is your catchphrase? Skip town?
Yeah. Skip town, drink wine.
This niggling thought I have in the back of my head that perhaps Connor would like to see his homeland again.
Connor, you can retrieve the discarded letter. It got a little dirt on it. It's a little crumpled, but it's still legible, and
little
you can
drops of
flatten it
blood.
out. Yeah, maybe it's just just a fine mist of red on one corner there.
He'll pick it back up and store it back where he had kept it.
All right, very well. Well, you can see that you can see the backs of the fleeing boars. If they are rushing to a... Sorry if you guys can hear my garbage collection going on in the background. But yeah, it doesn't look like they're particularly making way for the river proper. It is possible they're going to a ferry or a ship, but even so, that would take some time to get there. So your best guess is that these guys are like a local garrison of sorts, like a road patrol type thing. They might be going to tell someone, they might be going to fetch reinforcements. Either of these things is possible.
Well, all the better we get out of here.
Like you said, you don't assault the local military garrison and then just try to head into town. It doesn't seem like a good idea.
That is true. Though
Well, it'd be better if you didn't wear your colors everywhere. That'd make us able to at least slip into town and blend in.
Well, I'm sorry, did they assault us because of my colors? I thought it was because of the words that you used. Literally, your words. That kind of repeated.
Well, it seemed more like they were just raring for a fight. Still, Burgess isn't here and is way further down.
I'm sorry, what was the last thing you just said?
Burgess is way further down the way.
We're heading to Burgess. Burgess
Yeah,
is across the
exactly.
river
So
from
we can...
us.
Right, we can slip past now and continue.
Sure, you have cleared the way. No one else is blocking your way, and you're probably 30 minutes or so from the nearest, from the bank of the Liore. And the reason you're headed in this direction in the first place is that you know there is a ferry, and you're optimistic that they'll let you travel with this writ that you have from the Lycée Montu.
hopefully they're more congenial than our other friends.
I find this maneuver to be suicide, but who am I to deny the opportunity to kill more Doloro?
All right. I take that as a progress, so I assume you guys are going to get down to the ferry.
Hopefully.
The ferryman is an old dog who's got kind of like long, droopy whiskers, and he's leaning against he's leaning against the oar that he uses to push his modest raft across the river. When he sees you guys coming, he whistles and he says, "Oh, I have to say, it's been a little while since the last time any avoirdupois have attempted to cross this river. I realize I'm slipping back into a southern drawl kind of thing here, but we'll just go with it. This guy is not a highborn. He's sort of a local."
Hey, we're still a long ways from the two old men arguing with one another all the time that we used to have on this channel.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, okay. Well, he says, I suppose I should tell you that we're not permitted to take offers from avoirdupois. If you want to cross, well, I might be persuaded. It might cost you a little bit extra.
But of course, good sir. All right. Well, good man. I'm sorry, because good sir is only for nobility. I was out of here, little rant.
You got it. I always make the same. I always do the
Well,
same
good
dumb
is for
shit.
everyone who doesn't have a title, and the titles are for the people who have the titles.
Yes.
Good means you don't have a title.
So you just call people good? My good.
Yeah, my good ferryman, my good
My
Mr.
good man.
Whoever.
Gotcha. So then you wouldn't say my good sir, because
The
that
good
would
Bobbridge
be...
the Tall.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry to interrupt you there, Connor. Please take it away. Ferryman is very receptive.
Well, I was just thinking of negotiation plus. Let me see how much money I have left.
Ah, yes, the old Seto Kaiba. Screw the rules, I've got money.
Precisely.
Well, I have 24 dinar. Actually, 26.
Oh, yeah. All right. I mean, that's probably enough to bribe this guy like 3 times over.
Right. I was gonna see if you could suggest what would be a normal bribe for such a thing. At least a dinar for a day's wages.
Yeah, and this guy, I have to imagine, does pretty well for himself. There's not that many ferries across the Lyora River. This region in particular is crossable because it is narrow enough to make the passage reasonable and shallow enough that you don't have to contend with the strong currents of the rest of that pervade the river. So yeah, so basically he does pretty well for himself. Probably on average he gets like 3 dinar a passage. So if you wanted to like, I don't know, if you wanted to triple that, it would be like 9-10 dinar would be more than enough for him.
Let's make it 9.
Wait,
Frugal.
wait, listen to the words, Getter. He said, would be more than enough. We need to par it back to just enough.
No, I mean it's your call how much you want to offer him.
Well, we've
He's,
already heard that 24 dinar would be at least 3 times as much, as you've already said. So what's 24 divided by 3?
I mean, that's still more than, like I said, it would probably take. Maybe I'm giving you guys too much information. I'll just stop talking now. You figure this out.
Just using your own words. I say you give him 8 at the most. Negotiate down from there.
He says, "Oh well, taking a risk, letting you cross. Probably, 15 dinar would set my mind at ease."
Right. Too bad I don't have haggling. But let's try to negotiate him down a little bit.
In the background,
Alright.
I want to be wiping the blood off of my sword.
That is, take a bonus die for that. Go right ahead, because again, this dude is like, there's very little he could do to actually stop you guys.
We crashed one ship on this river before.
We'll crash it again.
Well, there we go. 2 successes.
And that's before your bonuses. So yeah. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna say, given the just intimidating presence of Harmon in the background, and as you guys approach, and he's looking at you, and he's giving you his normal spiel. He's like, "Oh, it's hard work, fighting the currents, and on and on." He's sort of like getting distracted. He's trailing off, and he's looking at your fresh wounds and your bandages and the gore that is on your weapons. And he says, "It occurs to me that what kind of neighbors would we be if we didn't extend some hospitality to foreign dignitaries such as yourself. So you know what? It's on. This one's on me."
Thank you kindly, good ferryman.
Please, my lord, say nothing more of it. Step lightly now. This won't be a very long trip. And he ushers your entire party onto his raft and pushes off. And we'll say that, yeah, I think you guys are a little bit north, or I guess a little east of Bruges, but I'm gonna say that you guys will make it the rest of the way there. The ferryman seems just relieved that you're getting off his ferry, and pretty much as soon as you touch down on solid land, he will give you a little salute and push off and get as far away from you as he can. The rest of the trip to Bruges is fairly uneventful. You can see that anytime you pass a group of travelers or a group of militiamen, that they'll give you some dirty looks, maybe eye you suspiciously, but none of them have the numbers to basically, stop you. And as you reach the familiar now tiered city of Bruges, Doctor, you are overcome waves of nostalgia. You have the familiar reek of the dock district, the hustle and bustle, the echoes of 1,000 conversations, and above it all, the towering, a very utilitarian citadel of Bruges.
Just look at it. It's crowded, noisy, smelly. Smells like home.
Really smells like they pour out their buckets of waste into the streets.
Yes, like right there, like that gentleman.
That's why
Splat
some of us
glare.
fly above street level.
Yeah.
But I'm down here in the dirt with the common folk.
Such is life.
Blessed be the inventor of awnings.
All right.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay, so-
seriously, with handles being both a fire hazard and an expense, a lot of these places would have, windows that open upwards.
Mm-hmm. So right now, we are in the city again, and we do know where we need to go. However, I can't help but notice, and I guess continue to point out, you two are very obvious.
I'm sorry, are you saying that the giant is obvious?
Conspicuous.
Yes. Conspicuous is also a very good word. So I might say that while you do have the writ, if it doesn't work, Anushka and I should maybe go rally somewhere else, and if there's a subtler matter to take care of, at least not be associated directly with you before you get rushed out of town.
Oh, I'm just sitting here while you're saying, like, you look conspicuous. I'm just gonna sit here and look you up and down, and I'm sorry, are you wearing gilded robes covered in the gold and silver of some air?
Well, I mean, I was wearing plate mail, but I'll put away the fancy clothing for now. I'm not allowed
No,
to
I
have
mean,
any
are
fun.
you dressed in a religion of a rival province, as here we are in the seat of all Lutheranism? Talking
Indeed,
about
I
how you
was.
guys don't blend in.
This is the joke I was making before.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to wear some normal clothes and take off the plate armor.
I mean, you do have a Bruges accent because this is your local knowledge, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. No, it's also funny listening to you, Mr. Highfalutin language. Like, oh, you guys don't blend in, where I'm the most commoner person here.
Well, I do recall the last time we were here, I just stayed on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm not too worried about you guys.
Right. So, I
I would think that Connor actually, it's his office. I think.
Mhm.
Two things would have me worried. One, just what just happened. Two, last time we were here, didn't the guy put out a thing for us? Like, people are looking for us actively in this town.
Well, we determined that they're not using like bills, like wanted posters and such. There were people walking around asking after you, and I'm gonna mess up the timeline, but I think that was probably like close to a month ago by now.
Right. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're not still looking for us.
Very true. That's a good point.
So, yeah.
All right.
We just assaulted
I do remember
an outpost of military people from the Doloro, and word could get back at any moment. And Triskellion could possibly still have the people that were looking for us before, that we know were looking for us because they attacked us, here.
Mm-hmm. Well, all the better to just blend in with the populace. Which,
No.
You two can't.
Well, it's not we can't. I won't.
It's a matter of principle.
Yeah.
Even if I could, just like Harmon, just slouch just a little bit, just slouch a little, but no.
You're not gonna turn Superman into Clark Kent. No.
All right. Well, what are we going to do with you then? That is the question.
Yes. What do you do with a problem like Maria?
My suggestion was Connor can in fact head out and do his duty, and if that doesn't work, then Anushka and I could maybe try some other tact.
Okay. In the meantime, where are you guys going to hole up? I mean, you don't even have to enter Bruges altogether if you don't want to.
Well, I was working at an inn before. I can go there again. Hey, Anushka, you like hanging around with a bunch of ne'er-do-wells and criminals, right?
It seems to be my lot in life, sure.
All right. Well, we'll go have a drink.
All right. What's the name of the inn?
I can't remember. That was also months ago in reality.
And you know what? I can't remember either because I think I probably asked you what the name of it was the last time we did this. And if I wrote it down, again, like you said, that was a while ago.
We'll call it the Salty Weasel.
I like it. I like the Salty Weasel. All right. So, Anushka and the doctor at the Salty Weasel, you guys actually have no problem blending in. I assume the doctor is wearing the Salumere robes. He's probably used to getting looks for those, but this is about as metropolitan as cities get here in Doloro country. So yeah, I think you've gotten by. You've heard it all. You've heard all of the names. You've gotten all of the questions, and at the end of the day, people seem content to just live and let live when it comes to you. As you've established yourself as a bit of a healer, even if you're an oddball who doesn't have a proper name.
Exactly. I'm back in town. Free healing for everyone.
Right? Pretty much. So if you would like to gather information, you may give me gossip checks, and this would be a perfect opportunity to use your knowledge if you so desire.
What's your motto again? Anonymous?
Do no harm, get paid.
Get paid. Free healing for everyone.
Well, after you buy me a drink.
There you go. Form of payment. Information is a form of payment.
Information is a form of payment. You know what? I might take a I don't have good gossip, and I feel like it keeps coming up as I'm the gossip person, so I'm gonna get some gossip.
Ahem.
What am I, chopped liver?
No, I'm happy to watch you do all of this, but right. I am the gossip person. I don't know what I think you are.
Well, I keep ending up having to also roll it, but you are there.
Since I serve with joy, I'll assist you.
Thank you. All right. So I've gone ahead.
D8 for me.
All right, and would this be will and gossip?
Yeah, that sounds good.
1d10. I got my brand new d6. I got a d8 assistance bonus, and if I'm doing medicine to people, I can add that in as a form of talking to them.
I'll say you can, but it takes more time because it's not just chatting people up; it's also attending to their ailments.
Good thing I'm good at wasting time, so I'll do it.
Okay. Oh,
there we go.
All right. 2 successes.
Oh, so you got this scar dealing with that recent cognoscenti that wandered into town.
Tell me, sir, what happened to you? Oh, well, this really wet bat just walked right up to me. Yeah. No, well, Anushka and Anonymous, you spend the better part of the day just talking to people, making contacts, and in your case, Doctor, applying bandages to boo-boos here and there, which you have found opens people up to handing out free information. Here's what you...
It's the doctrine that closes them back together.
There you go. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. So here's what you find. You were able to come across a couple pieces of information. First, that these days it is bad business to be a bat. Multiple people, big strapping men, have approached Anushka as such and said basically like, "Hey, little lady, if you might want to watch out. They're arresting bats on the street. Apparently, the Lycée Montu are looking for one in particular, and amateur bounty hunting is a growth industry over here these days. So, you might have even seen bats getting harassed." Huh?
Is there a warrant?
Oh, no, not for your arrest. It's specifically, this is in regards to Rodolfo, the bat
they're saying
betrayer.
It's a warrant
Right.
for Rodolfo's arrest, so someone thinks it might confuse me for Rodolfo.
Mhm.
Which normally I would dismiss as racism, but I'll keep that in mind. I'm also starting to think, like, how could they confuse me with Rodolfo? I'm just have a regal bearing, steely-eyed, and I'm carrying the world's most expensive guns and rapiers.
Yeah, guns and rapier. Yeah. Yep, for a city slicker, you're looking, for a messenger too. You do have an interesting apparel, on you.
I'm a good messenger. I'm good at my job.
Very good. Very good at your
But,
job.
So that you are looking for him. So he is in the city then.
Well, they're looking for him.
They haven't found him yet.
No one's found him yet, and once again, I don't know if he's even still alive. Possibly.
Mhm.
Yeah. You'll recall that you guys were there when the particular bounty was placed. Borneo, Lycée Montu, had put his, basically sent word to Bruges to find this guy, and in fact, at the same time, tasked you guys with finding him as well. So, yeah, the word got out, but apparently also it's the kind of thing where, racism essentially, but bats are getting shook down left and right. Everyone thinks they caught the cognoscenti, and so the current, police garrison is just being swamped with innocent bats who have been beaten up and taken in by well-meaning, I guess, citizens here and there looking for their rewards. And even though there's probably no chance of you being caught up in this, Anushka, it makes for a decent pickup line, I suppose. So
That's
you have a
what I
lot of
was thinking
people.
they were actually doing.
Yeah.
It's
A lot of people
call.
concerned for
Criminals
your
never do
safety.
anything wrong.
They'll rebuff their advances. Happens all too often.
There you go. Make a rebuff roll. No, we're good. So yeah, so
Puppy. Good girl.
Griffin, anonymous. So you have also picked up some information. There are apparently some people saying that the local bank has had increased guard activity, and a lot of people who some people are saying that they think that there are guards who are sort of like undercover or of such. People that they know have worked for the guards seem to be loitering around in plain clothes around this bank, and that is curious. But you find one lad who had a nasty infection on a cut on his knee, he's grateful to you for helping him, and he says that if you're looking for the rat, the bat, if you're looking for the bat, the one that everyone is looking for, he knows somebody. He knows somebody you could ask. Basically, the king of the streets, the head honcho, as it were, of a gang of hustlers, thieves that roam the streets of Bruges. He knows where everybody is, and if you really want to find him, find this bat, he can arrange a meeting with this guy. They call him the sergeant.
I've heard of him before. Yes, I never had the pleasure of meeting him, but well, if he'd be open to it, and, well, you seem to have a very interesting connection for someone so young. You're not doing anything out in the streets you shouldn't be, are you, young man? And I
Me?
just give him like
No.
that childish little scolding.
No, honest to God, sir. I'm just a citizen of the great city, and I would but the sergeant, he had said that he was looking for a healer of sorts. So I figure that, since you seem to be such a man of the people, that perhaps you'd be open to the job. And so I can set it up for you. If you're interested, meet me at this address, or meet him at this address, later this afternoon. And he hands you he hands you a paper. It has writing on it. Apparently, this kid is literate, or at least barely literate.
Hey, he's
Literate
trying.
enough that you can make out what it says.
All right. Well, I got an address for a meeting. I'm gonna thank the kid. It's like, oh, you've been a wonderful help, kid. And as long as you stay off that leg for the rest of the day, ought to be fine.
He says, bless you, sir. To the light of whatever and such, I suppose. And he
Close
scampers
enough.
away. Look, close enough.
Anushka, I have a meeting with criminals. Look.
I'm
So,
sure you're a worldly sort. Besides, aren't these your sort of people? The accents here are so weird. People have strange customs.
They are. I mean, I've gotten to say y'all at least several times a day without strange looks.
I like how you say y'all. It's like, yeah, it's part of a Germanic pagan town, so naturally you want to sound as Appalachian as possible.
Yes.
Well, once again, the weirdest thing about Bruges are all the public gardens. Like they make a point of having trees because they're considered sacred.
Right. So,
Whereas in Triskellion, we would, any place that was free, we'd either have a building on it or a pile of garbage.
So, Anushka, while I could invite Connor or Harmon to come with me, Harmon would probably scare them all off, and Connor would probably doesn't need the smear on his reputation. But if you would come with me, I would feel a little safer.
I'm flattered that you think my reputation is robust enough to endure.
Well, it'll at
Such
least
a
make me not
scandal.
seem like I'm stupid for going completely alone into a situation.
There's nothing
That would ruin my reputation in town.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying not to break character because it's just not a jerk like I am. Sure, I'd love to. A stranger is just a friend you haven't met.
There you go. The positivity.
All right. So I
Okay.
guess we have that set up, and let's see how Connor's doing.